There it is, folks. And there she is. You never know about this business and acting, huh?
You never know.
You never know.
Nope. You never
All right.
know.
The X-Files is back, and so is Gillian Anderson.
Dana Scully on this 6-episode limited series. So here it is, Scully talking to an old friend.
Mulder.
Scully, listen to me. I've been misled. We've been misled.
Mulder, hold on a second.
No, just listen to what I'm saying. Or what if everything we've been led to believe in is a lie? What if there is no alien conspiracy?
Can we pull over a second? I've got to get out. Mulder, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about everything we've been led to believe. Our work, the X-Files, everything.
Can't we talk about this soon?
I know why O'Malley came to us, Scully. And that girl is the key, Scully. Sveta is the key to everything.
Couldn't you be jumping to conclusions?
I can't do this over the phone right now. Scully, I gotta go.
Mulder, where are you going?
Where is he going?
I can't tell you.
The two of you are always just magic. I think it comes down, I mean, it's great writing, it's great acting, but it always does come down to that chemistry, right?
We do have chemistry.
Did you know that immediately?
No, I don't think we knew it when we were in the hallway before the first audition or before network. It's possible that, well, people must have seen it in the room. I'm not sure I was aware of it in the room. I think it might have developed more seriously over time. We found our rhythm together.
Now, the fact that this thing is coming back, you know, the fans of the show, they're truly the meaning of fans, fanatics.
Yeah.
You know, this becomes part of who they are. Had you always had the desire to come back and do it again?
I think we always had the desire that we would potentially do a third feature. I think we all felt that the second one that we did wasn't necessarily the right way for us to end, and so we've been talking about that for a long time, and both David and I and our creator Chris Carter have always been up for it, but we'd never really considered series again. I mean, for us back then it meant 24 episodes a year, which I'm sorry, but I'm almost 50 and I'm not going to do that again.
All right, let me go back to early quotes from you. You said, well, a couple of things I know. I'm not going to live in Los Angeles, and I'm not going to do a television series.
Yeah.
You did say that.
Yeah,
way
I
back
did.
when.
Yeah.
What
I
happened?
did.
What happened?
Well, I think, you know, I've got a 7 and a 9-year-old, 7 and 9-year-old sons. I've got an older daughter, and at the time, it certainly felt like there's no way that I could fit that into my life as a parent. But you know, living in the UK, you get used to doing 6 episodes, of something which works for me. It's what I do for the fall over there. And that feels manageable. And even 13 would be tricky for me to do with my commitments as a mother and other things that I do. So the fact that networks have now become amenable to doing shorter episodes, shorter stacks of episodes, is, you know.
It gets you really drawn in a way, I think, as a viewer. I know this one hasn't even started. It's coming out soon. I watched the first episode, loved it. Everyone's going to wonder, well, will there be more? Is 6 going to be the end?
I don't think we know. I think that's a conversation to be had. Let's see how it does. You know, it could tank. As enthusiastic as people are, it might not be enough.
It's also the curse of expectations.
Yeah. So we'll have that conversation maybe after.
I want to say to you what I said to you earlier.
Just worrying about you.
You are now basically a British actor who comes here and does some things, and because you had such great success in England, both on stage and on television and movies and all of that. And I thought you were just an American actress who had just, I've had it with the U.S., I'm going to move over to London. I hadn't done my research in past years, obviously. This is who you are.
Well, it was my childhood. I grew up in the UK. I was a British child for all intents and purposes, and moving to the States was a strange and complicated thing for me at that age. We moved when I was 11. And I had, I was a British kid, and so.
And it wasn't as if you moved to New York or Los Angeles. You moved to what, Grand Rapids?
Grand Rapids, Michigan. Yeah. But my parents had a flat there, and we would go back every year. And
you have an apartment in the U.S., but you have a flat in London.
Well, no. When I was a kid,
Yeah. No, I'm saying you call it an apartment.
Oh, I see. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
right,
of course.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
So I used to, yeah, exactly. And so we would go back every year, and it was always we were originally going to move back. It was going to be a short move for us. And then they stayed, and they stayed, and we stayed.
And you were, do I have this phrase right? Bi-dialectical?
Yeah.
Explain that.
I don't know. Well, I guess it's nearly impossible for me to be around Brits without slipping into what was my original accent.
It's like putting a sweater on. It just
Like,
fits.
yeah. And my kids are British, and their dad is British, and my second husband was British. And so it's just, and I'm in England, so it's around me all the time. So it's impossible for me not to slip into it. So, but then the minute I'm on the phone with an American, then it's impossible for me not to go into my American.
You're not thinking about it.
I'm not thinking. Sometimes I do it on purpose, depending on who I'm talking to, because they will think I'm insane if I suddenly, like if I'm, if the phone rings and I start talking to, and I know it's my agent calling, I will gear myself into an American accent because then I'll sound like
So
an
when you were
idiot.
11 and you moved back to the U.S., you moved to Grand Rapids. Did you have the British accent then?
Yeah.
And how strange was that?
I was very popular for a while. Everybody wanted to give me gum. I thought that was amazing. That was the currency in those days. Yeah, I got a lot of gum. And then I started taking advantage of the gum. And anyway, so eventually I forced myself to lose it. But it was, and then I think for a while I remember being, after I lost it in high school, I think whenever somebody would ask me to read, like in English, somebody would, the teacher would ask me to read, from Shakespeare or something, and I'd switch into my British accent. Yeah.
So you also have had much success on The Fall over there on BBC. How do you see, are the fans different, and how do they all react to you? You have your X-File fans, The Fall fans.
It's a different kind of fandom. It feels more mature, there's people. I think people are slightly afraid of Stella Gibson, and so Stella walking into the room.
There you are.
Or me walking into the room and people seeing Stella, as opposed to me walking into the room and people seeing Scully. Their reaction is different. Yeah. So, but also, I think over time, there's so much enthusiasm for for both now. I mean, I'm really lucky. I get to play a couple of really awesome chicks.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, so when you're on the plane,
Yeah.
you're flying from London to New York or LA.
Yeah.
Is there a certain geographical line where your
No,
accent
you're
changes?
gonna-
Like, I'm 3,000 miles out now.
Yeah. Oh, someone watch. No,
Yeah,
afraid not.
And where, if I know you've been asked this question before about, we all want, what is our identity? What is your identity? Can you fix that?
I don't know. I mean, is it fair to say that that I have no identity? That's more accurate, I think. I think it's more accurate that I have no identity than one in particular.
And the fans would definitely want to see you and David together in the series, I would imagine, right?
I mean together as in?
Well, whatever, but together on the series, together.
Somebody asked me last night.
Wait, what language
where
was that?
I?
Well, it was together. They want them to be together as a couple.
I was at a charity thing last night, and somebody said, "So the X-Files is coming back. Did you do it?" And I was like, I said, "Is that serious?" He was serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're together, but we're not. I mean, we're not a couple.
Yeah.
When it begins.
I don't think you were, or were you implying that?
No, the coupledom. Yeah, I think people want to see them together. They
Oh,
want
you
to
were-
see you
you were
guys
actually-
end up happily ever after.
Oh, then you were
on
saying
the
that.
show.
Oh my God, that would be so boring.
Right,
please.
but I bet some people want that, right?
Yeah, it would be so boring.
Yeah.
Trust me.
You need the tension.
Yes, we need the tension, and also, I mean that's what the foundation of the show is us disagreeing
Yes.
with each other,
Yeah.
and so it's better. Chris knows best, and this is. And so when I read the first episode and he had us apart in the particular way that he does, with Mulder, being reclusive and Scully kind of getting on with her work, it's the perfect way for us to begin. And
To get
we'll
back
see
into
where
it.
we grow. I mean, even in the course of these 6 episodes, you see them, we're the same. We're
Yeah.
that's what we're giving the fans, is exactly what we gave them all along. And ultimately, if they would admit it to themselves, that is exactly what
You
they
want
As
the
it should
you
be.
want the wedding show like Luke and Laura?
I want it all, Steve.
Okay.
I want the tension. I want the
right.
happily ever after.
Well, we can have sex every once in a while.
Yo, that's okay.
There
That's
you
it.
go. See?
That- That's the sequel to Sex Files. That's coming up.
Well, that already exists.
I was
Thank
gonna
you
say,
so
thank you.
much. It's good to see you. Thank you. X-Files premiering on Fox Sunday, January 24th, immediately after that little thing called the NFC Championship came, and then it airs in its Monday night time slot starting on January 25th.
And as I've seen the first episode, it's fantastic. It's
Thank
really-
you. It
gets
was
you
really
back
good
in.
on the IMAX the other day. I was impressed, even
Yeah.
in the big
You
screen.
look up there and you say, wow, that's me up there, right?
Well,
on
yeah,
IMAX, yeah.
like that.